Shalom, shalom. On the Shabbat, I'm giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakodash. That one is the elder apostle, Gabriel, on rule, teach who I got this truth from. Shalom to you, brothers. Just well as you sisters might be tuning in, listening, and learning. And just getting right into it, as you can see on this article, it says, a Texas school district has been forced to pull the Bible from its library shelves. Which we've been saying this, you know, I think it's been more than a year. If not, then it's been a couple. No, yeah, it's been more than a year. They've been trying to get Bibles out of certain areas. I remember California had legislations and laws that was forcing them to take Bibles out of certain areas. I don't think you would be able to find a Bible in like no library or nothing like that. But this is all due to the Lord's will. Being that pretty soon, it's gonna be a famine. Of the word though. You know, the Lord is about to make sure that it's a shortage of every single thing, including His word. It says Texas school district has been forced to pull the Bible from its library shelves. What is causing? Why would you want to take the Bible out of a school when that's supposed to be like the main thing that you're supposed to be learning? Matter of fact, this is a book of Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. It says, "Let us hear the whole conclusion of the whole matter." It's like let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh Shai and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Right? Because where do these commands come from? They come out the scriptures. So this devil really don't want you listening to anything that's coming out the scriptures, really, because it condemns him. It contradicts what he got going on. But that's not gonna offset prophecy. That's just gonna furthermore push prophecy, like the scriptures say. You can't do nothing against the truth before the truth, because it's prophesied that it's gonna be a famine of the word. Let's look at Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shah, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Right, so that means that it's going to be a scarcity. Matter of fact, let's get this word famine.
Strong's H7458.
Ra'av. Which one going to the word? Yeah, it's gonna say it. It says famine or hunger. Yeah, hunger. Yeah, the word ra'av in the Hebrew is hungry. Meaning people gonna be hungry or famished for this word, man. When right now people could care less about hearing it and could give a fuck about hearing it. Give a fuck about hearing the prophecies that's coming to pass or the current, you know, measure of prophecy that we falling in right now. It's gonna come a time where you hungry for it. And when you hungry for something, that's a serious thing, man. When you famished for something, that's not a light thing. So the Lord is gonna really make this thing big. It already is, but it says famine, hunger. It says hunger of individuals, right? It says and they shall wander, in verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, and shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. Right. So once again, they're gonna hunger for this word, that they've been, putting off. Like the scripture say, putting out off from day to day. This word that people been putting off from day to day. And just denying in their heart and their mind, and just closing their ears to it. Well, they're gonna be looking for it desperately, and not gonna be able to find it. It says, "In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst," man. So hey, the Lord ain't gonna care about your beauty. You know, the Lord ain't gonna care about no fat ass and breasts. The Lord ain't gonna care about no young, strong man. The Lord ain't gonna care about none of that. You know, it says, "In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. They shall swear by the sin of Samaria, and say, thy power, O Dan, liveth," which we know Dan is no longer, you know, a tribe. And it says, "And the manner of Beersheba liveth, even they shall fall and never rise up again." So the Lord gonna put a lot of these people to death, man. Because they ain't gonna be able to find it. He gonna make it to where they ain't gonna be able to find the word of the Lord, and they gonna, even, in the midst of that, they still gonna be serving these other gods, man. You know. So look at 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 13. It says, "But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived." Right, because this is supposed to be a period where you able to get this word while it's still, while you can. You see these devils taking the books out of different schools, different, they took it out of the libraries, they took it out. Hey, they probably in a minute they about to take it out of the church. But with that being said, you know, this is supposed to be a period where you're able to hear the word of prophecy, and you're supposed to hearken, you know. But nah, it says it says will continue thou in the things which thou learn. Oh, well, I'm gonna read verse 13 again. It says, "But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived." Right, because what these people gonna do if it ain't no Bibles nowhere? If they can't find no Bibles nowhere, that's they spirit of deceiving is gonna wax worse, man. You know, all this time they care less about the scriptures being uh in a sight, being around, to their access. So what you think they gonna be like? If they demons now, why the scriptures is you can access the scriptures. What you think is gonna be like, when they can't. They're gonna be even more demons. You know. It says, "But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and has been assured of." But for us, we supposed to be, seeking out the scriptures. Speaking to myself first and foremost, we're supposed to be seeking out the scriptures, more and more, and being assured, you know, of the faith of Yahweh Shah, you know, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, right? So knowing that, the Lord exists, just based off of, our testimonies and, us being built up and rooted in this thing. And it says, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Yahweh, right? These scriptures, it's supposed to make us wise, man. Matter of fact, um, let me get this real quick. This book, Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 1. "Who is as a wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed." Right, and this shining of our wisdom, which is a gift from Yahweh Shah. Hey, people gonna, people see that, and at a time, where we being taken off the street, you know, hey, people gonna search that out, man. You know, people gonna search that out because you'll know a man's wisdom. I mean, you'll know a man's face shining by, his level of wisdom. It said, "Who is as a wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed." Right, and the boldness of our face is gonna be changed. Because we ain't no longer gonna be fishing no more. The Lord take us out of fishing. The fishing mode is gonna be hunting mode. That's why, like we just read in Amos chapter 8, like verse 11 and 12. It said, behold, it says, let me read 12. They shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. Which they gonna seek us, because we was the ones teaching it. So like it says, "Who is as a wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of the thing? Who knoweth the interpretation of these scriptures?" A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine. Us being able to understand these scriptures from the breakdowns that was handed to us through our elder apostles and through the man before them. That's what make our face shine. Because it's like we know the mysteries that was given, that was decoded through Yahweh. It says, "A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed." And we gonna be changed because you're not, yeah, hey, it's gonna be, it's not gonna be fishing season no more. Just like the scriptures say, you know, set forth many fishers, and they shall fish them. Then shall I set forth many hunters. So the Lord gonna be changing our mindset. Like we gonna be ready for these niggas to die. You know, and ready for Yahweh Shai. To come back and deliver us. You know, um, let me see. Proverbs chapter 7 verse 1. Yeah, this going with how this is our whole duty. Right now. As speaking to myself first and foremost, getting more into the scriptures, knowing that it's about to be a famine. We might not even have a book. A KJV or an NIV or a 1611. We might not even have access to none of these things. So with that, being kept in mind, we gotta try to get as much of this as we possibly can. Which we know is all according to our salvation. You know, but still, it says, "My son, keep my words and lay them up." It's like it, and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law. That's the apple of thine eye, right? It's got to be precious to us. You know, bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Say, my nose did not start running until I start doing the lesson. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. Right, hold on, verse 3, it says, bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Right, so hey, we're supposed to write these words, in our mind, like to remember them, which we know it's all gonna be through the spirit, like whatever we say, like the spirit, gonna have to lead it, when it comes to these scriptures, and remembering it. But just trying to get as much as we possibly can, before Esau take it all the way, which is really the Lord taking it all the way. So you just gotta keep him in remembrance. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 4 verse 18, and by keeping him in remembrance, it's not just remembering the scripture. Like, okay, I remember, this scripture, I remember that scripture, I remember that scripture, I remember all the scriptures. No, it's really, applying them and using these scriptures, for the sake of wisdom in our daily life, our daily walk, because we gonna need them. We gonna need it. We gonna need these scriptures to keep us from from the tempter, to allow us to rebuke the tempter. To remember that we gotta trust in the Lord no matter what. We gonna need these scriptures. You know, especially when we have to be in that book of Eli mode where ain't nothing around, and you know what I mean. In the book of Eli, they had like I think it was like one Bible, and it was fighting over it. But at the end, the book of Eli, I mean, excuse me, Eli ended up giving the whole interpretation of this, or the whole write down of the scriptures, just based off of his memory. So that's how we, kind of gonna be in like a sense, like, we gonna be the ones that, people seeking out for these breakdowns, you know. This book of Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 1. Oh, it's like I read that right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna read this one more time, and we close out. This book of Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, days come, saith the Lord, power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. So we see that famine approaching, more and more as actually I remember another precept I was gonna get Salakia, because I want to link this precept to this. I'll read this one more time. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 1, and then after I get the other precept we can close out. Who is as a wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. Because a man's wisdom, knowing these things in the scriptures, applying them, hey, that's wisdom, you know, and that make us shine, man. People see that, they see it as not normal, because it's rare for a man to, actually fear the Lord, fear Yahweh Shemel Shah, and actually apply what he's saying, in the scriptures. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 4 verse 18. But the path of the just is as a shining light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. So hey, we like, Lord's willing with those men, we got a path that's shining, more and more until the Lord come back, and people see that, people gonna seek that out, you know. But the Lord's willingness is edifying. The water of us shall give me a spiritual lesson to next time I say Shalom and a Bible ball.